Beach fishing yakka attack. Hi, my name's Roger Osborne. I've actually been and caught some beautiful fresh yellowtail, which we also called yakkas, and they're amazing bait off the beach. So I've come down here, perfect timing in the afternoon to put some of that beautiful yellowtail out for bait. And while I'm fishing, I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to show you how I'm rigging the yellowtail, how I'm filleting it. I'm going to put it on a few different ways, which I'll be teaching you while I'm fishing. Stick around to the end for a free PDF download which will outline some vital keys from today's session. If you're enjoying my videos, remember subscription is absolutely free and it really helps my channel and I really appreciate it. So make sure that you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And man, I've just seen a school of fish. I just walked down here, so I better get into it. Now it's a winter afternoon, still just so amazing even though it's winter. The tide's not perfect this evening, it's a low tide at 7:30 p.m. We've had some big swell the last few days and it's only just dropped off. So it's kind of nice, it's kind of gone from really big to not much. But I've walked down the beach and I can see what I think is a school of salmon within about 10 metres of the shore. I don't have any lures with me. But what I do have is I have some pilchards. They're not that fresh and I always carry ganged hooks in my bag, always. So I've got no sinker, nothing. I've just whacked a pilchard on a ganged hook because I don't need to cast far to get into this school of fish. Let's see if they are keen, if they're hungry, if they're going to take a pilchard when I whack it in there. Just quickly, if you're as passionate about fishing as I am and you really want to improve and enjoy it even more, why don't you join Roger's Fishing Online Fishing Club, my membership. I've got some amazing people who are members and we all share our information with each other. There's so much content on there. There's all my fishing courses, plus there's a heap of stuff that's not available on YouTube. And there's no lock-in contracts, you can leave anytime you want. So head on over to rogersfishing.com and check it out. Those pilchards are a bit old and smelly. I could see a darker patch in the water. And when I was looking at that darker patch, it became evident fairly quickly that it was not weed, it was fish. The question is, are they hungry? Now this will look very natural because there's no sinker, and I'll still be able to cast it far enough. Okay, so that pilchard has landed pretty much in the middle of where the fish are. So I know the bait landed in the middle of the fish. Just depends on whether the fish are actually hungry. Whether they want to eat or whether they're in like a spawning mode or something. We'll find out pretty quickly anyway. Oh, I'm on. Oh, I thought I was on. Am I on or not? Yeah, I'm on. How's that? I mean, they could be tailor as well. They might not be salmon. This guy's pulling a little bit of line. How awesome is the beach? When you can walk down to a beach, you never know what you're going to find when you come down to the beach. They obviously are hungry. So what do we got here? Is it a salmon or a tailor? All right, I think I can bring him up. Actually, I have to bring him up with the next wave. It's got a little bit of kick. Need to tighten my drag just a fraction. Yeah, this next wave hopefully will be the wave. Nah, not going to happen. You know what, these salmon, which I can see now that it is a salmon, are such amazing fighting fish. They're so exciting to catch and much better to eat than most people realise and than many people think. All right, so come on, mate. Come on, mate. All right, here we go. Look at that. What a great... Oh, that got me. What a great example of the classic Australian salmon. A really beautiful fish. Now I'm going to let this guy go. I could eat him, but I've actually got some beautiful mulloway steaks in my freezer because I've been catching the odd mulloway lately. And I've got some lovely fillets that I'm going to enjoy. So this guy, I just want to get him off quickly and let him go. It's always good to be able to improvise when you're down at the beach. You don't always have everything, the perfect setup. You don't carry your whole tackle box with you, or I don't. I do keep a few key items, and it just shows you that you can improvise. When I saw that school of salmon, I threw that bait in and hooked up straight away. So I'm going to chuck another bait out, just to show that it's, you know, that it's going to happen again, basically, when this bait lands out there, because the fish haven't moved. They're in the same spot. Hopefully we can get some of that footage, because you can just see the whole school of fish there, right in close. So I'll just flip this pilly out there. You can see this little wave coming. Just going to wander. There's so many fish out there. Okay, so that's landed right where the fish are. I've got no sinker, so okay, there you go. So I've got no sinker on. That's why you've got to be a little bit more sensitive, feeling the bait on the end of the line. So this is my second cast. Actually, I can see some salmon following this salmon in. Wow, the fish are right there, right on the shore. Super exciting. You know, if you've got some kids who love fishing and you spend a bit of time down at the beach, you're going to have some great sessions like this. You've just got to be there. I had no idea when I came down here what the beach was looking like, because I haven't been here for months. All right, I've got to follow this guy along a little bit. Get him in, here we go, come on. Oh, wow. These are really fat, healthy fish. So fat and healthy, it's amazing. Now, salmon aren't my primary target species this afternoon, obviously. So I figure that they'll probably have a go at my yellowtail as well. I'm just hoping that I might hook a dewy on dark on the yellowtail. So that's why I'm using yellowtail. And I'm going to be using yellowtail in a few videos coming up, so there's going to be more than one of these videos where I'll be using yellowtail in different ways off the beach, and I'll also include catching the yellowtail in my next video. I'll take you with me when I go and get the bait. There you go. Now I can put him back in the water nice and gently. Got a little bit of a surge coming up here. There you go, mate. Yeah, he's gone back out to join all of his brothers and sisters out there. Now, I'm not going to do that again because I know what's going to happen. So I think I've got a little bit of time before dark. Not too much, but I think I might spend my time getting my other lines ready and focus on fishing with the yellowtail and showing you how I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to actually use one of my worming stockings filled with pilchards to burley. I've been doing this a little bit lately. It's a really basic, simple way to burley, but it actually works really well. What I do is I tie my stocking to a rod holder. I put it on the water's edge where the waves can reach it and let it wash it around. And every now and then I stamp my foot and just mush the pilchards up a little bit so all that lovely flavours can get out there, all of the scent. So I'm going to go a little bit to my right because there's a bit of a current going from my right to my left. and I want the scent to end up in front of where I am. So I'm going to go to the right of where I am. It'll really stir these salmon up. This actually stinks. These pilchards are a little bit old and they smell bad. They still worked on the salmon, but this will really stir them up into a feeding frenzy. So I'm going to whack this in about here because when the big waves come, they will reach me. Woohoo, yeah, there you go. So I spent about an hour down at our local harbour today, just fishing, burling up with pilchards and fishing with a little bit of prawn or a little bit of pilchard fillet, and I caught a few yakkers. So the good old yakka, they're a great bait. I used to use them a lot when I used to fish out of my boat. I used to use them alive, fishing for jewfish / mulloway / cob, kingfish, really a lot of the pelagic species like yellowtail as a live bait. Even marlin love these. But they're a really good fillet bait as well, and I'm going to butterfly some tonight too. They're only a couple of hours old, they're pretty fresh. I'm going to let the sun get just a little bit lower because I found that often the salmon go off the bite a little bit as you get closer to dark, and I really want to avoid catching more salmon on the yellowtail. So I think I'd rather wait till the light fades a bit so that I've got more chance of catching a dewy or something else that's nice. So yeah, just going to wait, just going to enjoy where I am and get ready. The reason I've decided to fish here is because I had no idea what the features would be like on this beach, but I can see how there's a really shallow sandbar that really goes almost the whole length of the beach. Super shallow all the way along there. It's just going to get shallower with the low tide. And at the northern end of the beach here, it's the only spot, at least there's a nice deep section. It's like there's actually a little gutter that's running in along the edge of the shore there, and the salmon are actually right up in the shallow water where it's only a metre deep. And my burley there will be keeping them there. But I've got a nice deep pocket right at the end of the beach. And, you know, the type of spot where big fish will come sniffing in and having a look around. So I just think it's much better than going down the beach where I technically would have to wade out. You can see the white water down there. It's just super shallow. The whole length of the beach is shallow, except for where I am right here. So it was a pretty easy decision where to actually have a fish. And I do love the ends of beaches anyway. So yeah, so that's why I've chosen this spot. On one of my rods, I'm actually going to butterfly a yellowtail and hook it through its mouth or the front part of its head. This is actually a 9/0 octopus hook, so it's a fairly large octopus hook, but it's going to have the whole fish off the end of it. I'm going to butterfly it, I'm going to remove the backbone and put the whole fish on that single hook. So anything big will just need to swallow the whole thing. But, you know, mulloway have got massive mouths, so that's not an issue. So I'm going to whack that guy on. And on my other line, I'm going to use a smaller fillet of yellowtail. I'll probably do I'll probably snell two smaller hooks, and just do a nice little strip of yellowtail. So I'll have one big yellowtail bait and one small yellowtail bait. We've just seen a shark come in and terrorise these salmon. The salmon are still here en masse, but the shark is just fully going for them. So when I toss my big bait out there, maybe I'm going to hook a shark, I don't know. Hope not, or if I do, at least I want to hook it in the corner of the mouth. Anyways, I'm going to fillet up some yellowtail and just show you how I'm going to prepare them. Now I'm going to actually first of all do this one so that I can butterfly it. And when you butterfly a fish, you basically reverse fillet it. Now these have quite a sharp bony bit at the end, so you've got to cut through that. I'm going to cut obviously back towards my hand, but just very carefully, running the knife along the backbone. All the way up towards the head, right up to just behind the back of the head. Then I'm going to flip him over and do the same thing. So I'm going to cut through that bony bit. It's a bit harder now that I've cut that other one off. Just got to be gentle. Going to fillet it back up along the backbone, all the way up to behind the head, like so. Now, you can see, that's why they call it a butterfly, because it's like it's got two wings. But all you do now is you just break that part out. And you've got the head of the yellowtail, like that, with these two beautiful butterfly pieces. Look at that. Man, you could fry that on the barbecue. Imagine that, you could cook it on the barbecue with his head up like that. So that's how you butterfly a yellowtail. But now I'm going to just fillet one the traditional way. I probably should feed that shark out there. I reckon he'd love that. But I'll quickly take a fillet off this other one. So this one, I'm just going to run the fillet off the side like that, and do the same thing on this side. Just going to run the fillet off the side. Just take your time, you don't want to cut yourself. So now I've got those two beautiful fillets, and essentially I've got the skeleton of the yellowtail. So what I'm going to do with these ones is, all I'm going to do with these is cut them in half, long ways, like that, and that's going to be 2 baits. So out of this one yellowtail, I'll get 4 baits. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one line will have a piece of bait on it like that. The other line, I'll just put the 2 baits beside each other. One line will have this on it, one line will have that on it. Now I think I'll chuck these 2 little fish frames in the water as burley. Seeing as there's a shark out there, there might be more than one shark. Anyway, at least I'm feeding the fish in the ocean. And there still is a current going from my right to my left. And there's still Salmon City. I can just see so many salmon out there. So it's going to whop that guy out and whop that guy out. Gee, I hope there's some other fish in there apart from salmon and sharks. But we'll find out. So I've got my 2 snelled hooks here. I'm just lining them up against this fillet because I want the top hook to be kind of up the end here. So I think what I'll do with this bottom hook is I'll put this through the flesh side and then back out through the meaty side like that. And I'll do the same thing with this one up the top of the fillet. I'll put it through the flesh and then back out through the skin. So look at that, that's a beautiful bait. We've got that lovely fillet of yellowtail and the 2 hooks nestled in there. And I'm using a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader. So now I've got my lovely bit of yellowtail fillet there. I'm just doing a really simple basic rig. I've just got a star sinker going down to a lumo bead and a swivel, relatively short leader to my bait. I reckon I'm going to get nailed by salmon. What can I do? Anyway, I'm going to stay a little bit later, so hopefully that all calms down. Maybe I'll get a surprise. I won't get a salmon. I think what I'm going to do is, there's a sandbar there. I'm going to cast right on the end of the sandbar. Kind of on there's this little tiny gutter just here and just kind of out over there. I'm just going to watch where these waves break. See where they break on the sandbar. And just go in the edge of the deep water off the end of the sandbar. So obviously waves break where it's shallow. This shore dump still has a bit of power in it. That fillet was spinning around like a windmill when it went out. Now I'm going to hold on to this rod because I'm not going to put my other line out yet anyway. There's some dolphins out the back, just to the right of those rocks. There's a dolphin there now. I had a bite then, but I missed it. Oh no, I didn't miss it, I've got it. Actually, I thought I missed it. This is on that piece of yellowtail fillet. It's pulling a little bit of line. It did break the surface. Yeah, he's pulling some line. Wow. Still going. Still pulling line, wow. Can you see this beautiful backdrop where I'm fishing? The sky looks amazing. Whoa, did you see that? Woo-hoo. I think this is a bigger salmon. Wow. He really pulled a lot of line there at the start. My drag's not that loose. Wow, he's gone right over in the corner. I just pinch myself when I'm fishing in places like this. It's so beautiful. Wow, look at that. They're just like a mini marlin. What I don't want is for a shark to come in, and I think he's going to have a party. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. Well, there you go. It was a salmon, another fat salmon. You can see he's taken that yellowtail fillet. You know, pretty much any fresh fish bait or fish fillet will catch you salmon and tailor, and also dewies as well, all sorts of things, sharks, etc. So I'm going to remove the hooks from this guy and put him back in the water. Whew. I managed to extract the hooks fairly easily, so just going to put this guy back in. He's a good couple of kilos, this fish, at least. Really solid. Off you go, mate. Oh, where is he? You can see him there, look. There he goes. So my bit of yellowtail's a little bit mangled, so I'm going to put the other half of that fillet on. You can see my bait here after that salmon had a go at it. Looks like a little bit of messed up sashimi. You know, salmon make, oh actually this isn't salmon, it's yellowtail, but salmon sashimi is incredible. So good. Alrighty, all ready to go. I decided to put my jacket on. It's super cold. I reckon it must be snowing or something. It's so cold. It's probably a little bit early, but I'm going to put out that first butterflied yellowtail. I'll just show you how to put it on. Apparently my face is looking really red because of the sky. The sky as the sun's setting is like super red out there. So I have my butterflied yellowtail here. You can see him there. All I'm going to do is put the hook up and through there so that it sits in him like that. So I'm just going to go in and pull that out. Just going to have it like so. If a fish comes along and goes to eat it like that, it's going to get caught on there. So I'm obviously not going to catch anything small with a bait like this. The hook's too big. Really only likely to hook a shark or a big ray or a mulloway. It's a pretty heavy bait actually. I'm going to waft it to the right just a little bit. Just off the end of this sandbar. Oh, it's pretty good. Okie doke, I'm going to grab my other rod now. and let him do his own thing. Just keep my eye on it. So now I'll have 2 yellowtail baits in the water, one little one and one big one. I'd like to come back here and fish high tide. It would be, I think that would be optimal. Getting a bite. Oh, missed him. I felt a whack whack and then it pulled it. Yep, got him this time. Okay. He picked it up and ran towards me. My line actually went slack and I had to wind it in until I could feel something on the other end. That happens quite a lot when you get bites. They don't always swim away from you. Oh, wow, look at that. That's a big salmon. Whoa. Lots of, oh, he got off. Oh, there you go, he de-hooked himself. No bait left. Oh, so that's cool. He was pretty, I think he was bigger than the other 2 that I've caught. Pretty solid. Always like to check my line to feel for any kind of little bumps or frays in it. No, it's all right. I need to go and grab a bit more bait. Okay, so far every bait I throw out gets nailed by a salmon, except the big bait hasn't copped any attack yet. So we'll see what happens. And we've seen a few big creatures out in the water. It's, I don't think I'd be wanting to have a swim out there. Yeah, what's going on? It's swimming towards me? What's going on here? Yep, definitely swimming towards me. Okay, what's it going to do? Is it going to leap out of the water like all the other ones, or is it going to be different? Oh, it's right on the shore already. Look at this. Here we go. It is different. Look at this. This is Terry Taylor. He's turned up. As they do, always right on dark is when the tailor turned up. He's hooked in the corner of the mouth. I don't have a wide trace or gained hooks. Okay, there you go. Well, it's a different species. I think he's probably hacked my line a little bit. I think I'll keep this fella. Okey doke. Yeah, enough room to put him in there. So these 2 hooks are snelled together. I will do a video on how to do snells. There are some existing on YouTube already, but I probably will do one. There you go, beautiful. And that tailor did no damage. There's not much left of this yellowtail. It's been pretty well hacked up, probably by tailor and salmon. So I think I'll go and put a fresh one on and I'll feed the fish with this bit. Uh-oh. I almost thought that was going to bend over and keep going then. I've been getting a few violent shakes on this yellowtail, the butterflied one, and my rod bent over a fair way. I think their tail are just attacking it, but It's worth holding it anyway, just in case I do get a big bite. Okay, I've got something. Alright, so I've hooked up to something on this butterfly yellowtail. At this stage I can't quite tell what's going on. It's gone over into the corner. Right over into the corner. Could be some type of ray or something, I don't know, but gee, it's gone a long way over. Oh, here it's near the shore actually. Right here near the shore. Here it comes. Yep, one of our resident, oh look at that. This, my friends, is what we call a box head. It's actually a Port Jackson shark, but you can see why we call them box heads, because they've got such a brute, look at these kind of massive big eyebrows. And they actually have they normally have a spike just here, and one just there. You can see where their fin is there, there's a bit of a spike there, in front of this back fin. It's not overly sharp, but I don't think I want to get whacked by it. So obviously this is a release job. I'm just going to carefully get the hooks out and put him back in. Look at those teeth. Big crushing teeth. He looks like he's got a nose like a pig. He's the oinker of the ocean. All right, time to put him back in. It's not hurting him holding him like this. I'm being quite gentle, really. Here comes a little wave. Here you go, mate. There you go. Beautiful. There he is. Off you go, mate. That's it. That's it. You're going into the waves. I had to put this other rod down while I dealt with that, and I think I've got a fish on this one as well. It might be a tailor because I can feel it. I can't see it, but I can feel it leaping out of the water. It's coming in a bit easier than a salmon, so I think it's just a moderate sized tailor. I'm going to skip him all the way in. Here he comes. Yep, here we go. Hey! Yep, another tailor. So that's cool. There's obviously an abundance of tailor out there. You can see where that hook's got him in the corner of the mouth there. Just to uncover his eye, look at that. He's a beautiful eating size tailor. And he's actually bitten through. He'd been on there for a couple of minutes obviously, but he's bitten through. He separated my two hooks, so he's bitten through that 30-pound fluorocarbon. All right, well I've got a large size light here, although it doesn't seem to be all that large. I'm hoping it'll fit on my rod. Yeah, well, there you go, beautiful. Put that up there, at least I can see what's going on. Now, my bait's gone in a strange direction. Oh no, it's all right. It's just been carried out with the current a little bit. Beautiful. Look at that. It's probably a tailor or something. You're giving it a good whack. I'm going to hold it because something's giving it a good whack. Feels, could be anything really eating the end of that yellowtail. Could even be a brim, because it's washed over towards the rocks. And with that big hook in its head, there's not a lot of chance of hooking a small fish. Yeah, gotcha. Whatever you are. It's kicking a lot more than that Port Jackson. Wow. What have I jagged here? I wonder if I've jagged it or actually hooked it in the mouth. It's definitely got more fight than the last fish I had on. I'm just keeping pressure on it at the moment, because I don't know how well hooked it is. It's coming in close to shore. Yep, not far out at all actually. I think it might be a big tailer. Here it comes. Yeah, look at that. That's a bigger tailer. Oh, look at that. He's taken that 9.0 hook in his mouth. He's a big tailer. Look at that fella. Would you believe that he took a butterflied yellowtail? So this tailer has got a 9.0 hook in his mouth, and he's taken that whole butterflied yellowtail. Wow. Solid fish. You can see how thick he is through the shoulders. Really thick. Now that is a cracking tailer. Really solid, beautiful greenback. If you'd like a free PDF download of some vital keys from today's session, hit the link in the corner or in the description below. The tide and the moon this afternoon were not really optimal for fishing for mulloway, but it was just such a stunning afternoon. So worth having a fish and getting some beautiful fresh yellowtail for bait. And how's that tailer? Absolutely cracking tailer. Couple of nice salmon, certainly heaps of bites. I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to knock off and head home, but I'll see you soon in another video. And I'm going to get a lot more yellowtail and be fishing with those off the beach, and probably going to be using them both alive and as dead baits. See you soon.